What's going on, YouTube? Thomas L here. With The Prodigy opening this week, since that movie features a very creepy kid, I decided to do my top 10 favorite creepy kids in movies. Because over the years, there was lots of films that features some creepy kids. So that being said, here's my top 10 list. Alright, coming in at number 10 will be Carol Ann, played by Heather O'Rourke in Poltergeist. Now, lots of people will probably add her up a little higher, but she wasn't as creepy as the other kids in the top in my top 10 list. But there's some creepy stuff that Carol Ann does in this. Just the way she says to her family, "They're here." That line alone always creeped me out. And Heather O'Rourke, her as Carol Ann, was a really good casting. She played that role really well. Carol Ann was very creepy. It's a shame that Heather O'Rourke, died way too young. Sadly, she passed away at the age of 12. She, of course, appeared in the sequels as well before her passing. But definitely, Carol Ann will always be her iconic role, and she played that role just really well. And if you guys never seen Poltergeist, of course the original, check them out. They're classics. The first one is good. The sequels are a little iffy, but they're still decent. All right, coming in at number 9 will be Samara, Chevy Chase in The Ring. Now, lots of people probably say the Japanese version is better, but I really love the remake. Chevy Chase, her as Samara, is creepy. Any movies where it features a creepy videotape that where you watch it, you'll die in 7 days, that is just creepy alone. And Samara is a very creepy little girl. If you guys never seen The Ring, watch it, but Samara is seriously one of the most creepiest kids you'll see in the film. And the performance by Chevy Chase, I thought was pretty good. Even though I dug that recent Rings film, I would say the girl who played Samara in that one wasn't as good as Chevy Chase was in the first Ring film. She, of course, reprised her role in the sequel, but the sequel is terrible. So, all right, coming in at number 8 will be Esther, played by Isabelle Fuhrman in Orphan. This movie, believe it or not, turns 10 years old this year. And Orphan is creepy. The little girl in that movie is completely creepy. In it, Vera Farmiga and Pierce Sarsgaard, decides to adopt a child who is, of course, Esther, played by Fuhrman. And terrible events unfolds, and so they begin to suspect that Esther, has some has pretty much something sinister lurking in her, and she's pretty much a child. She's a kid, but she pretty much kills, and it's really creepy. It was directed by John Collette-Serra, who also went on to direct Liam Neeson movies like Runner Night, Nonstop, The Commuter. He also did House of Wax. He's good when it comes to horror movies. I really like both House of Wax and Orphan and The Shallows. But Orphan is his best horror work. Isabelle Fuhrman, I thought she was terrific as the role. She was really creepy. And I remember hearing words years ago that we might be getting a sequel, but sadly that never came. It's a shame because I would love to have seen another Orphan. But if you guys never seen Orphan, definitely check that one out. Alright, coming in at number 7 will be Rhoda Penmark, played by Patty McCormack in The Bad Seed. Now, I'm going to go with the 1956 version. Patty McCormack was really creepy in this. Of course, she saw it out as a child, and her performance as Rada Pegman was creepy. I mean, in it, it's about like William Hopper, plays Air Force Colonel Kenneth Penmark, who, with his wife, played by Nancy Kelly, decides to adopt a pigtail girl named Patty McCormack, and things pretty much take the turn for the worst, and they pretty much figure out that the little girl's very creepy, and there's lots of sensors surrounding her. I mean, Patty McCormack was really creepy. She had a really good performance in this as well. I mean, if you guys never seen The Bad Seed, it came out in 1956. It's black and white. It's probably one of my favorite horror movies of that era. It's a classic. And then a couple years after, they did do a few remakes. Like most recent, there was a remake that got released last year on Lifetime with Rob Lowe and McKenna Grace. That was pretty decent, but not as good as the original. All right. Coming in at number 6 will be Henry Evans, played by Macaulay Culkin in The Good Son. All right, now Macaulay Culkin, you might know him as that little boy who was was pretty much home alone, faced off burglars, and all. But a year after he reprised his role as Kevin in Home Alone 2, he became really creepy in The Good Son. This is seriously a very different role from Macaulay Culkin. I mean, in it stars Elijah Wood, who pretty much plays a young boy who loses his mother, but he must stay with his extended family while his father is away on business. And so he becomes friends with his cousin, played by Macaulay Culkin. However, the extent of Henry's depravity pretty much becomes clear when Mark pretty much sees him kill a neighbor's dog, and he pretty much figures that Macaulay Culkin's character is very creepy and does like some very crazy stuff. I mean, he pretty much, for one, kills, like, Macaulay Culkin's character Henry pretty much almost kills his own sister in like a pond. And also, there's a scene where Macaulay Culkin's Henry character throws a dog in the middle of traffic, and and the parents still don't even believe Mark, which is crazy. Because I mean, I guess I could see why, because who will expect that a sweet kid like Macaulay Culkin will do the stuff that that Mark is accusing him of doing. But then it turns for the worse towards the end. And I don't want to spoil it because I don't know how many people have seen this. But if you guys haven't had a chance to check out The Good Son, do yourself a favor and give it a go. It's a really creepy film. All right, coming in at number 5 will be Isaac Kroner, played by John Franklin in Children of the Corn. Now, this is, of course, based on the Stephen King novel. Children of the Corn, I mean, there's, of course, children's and creepy kids in a corn. And it is a classic horror movie. It is creepy. Not only is John Franklin's character creepy, but the other kids are creepy. I mean, this is a real creep fest of a film. And I mean, the kids all have like sinisters on them, and they do some very gruesome stuff. I mean, it is a creepy film. They also did a few sequels that came after this, which some of them were okay, some of them was not good. But the first film is the best. It's a classic, and if you guys never seen the original Children of the Corn, check it out. I think you'll appreciate it. Coming in at number 4 will be Damien, played by Harvey Spencer Stevens in The Omen. Now, maybe I could have added this at like a little higher, but I decided to add it as number 4. I mean, Damien is one of the most creepiest childs you'll see in a film. I mean, the stuff that Damien does to people is just outrageous. Like, he's pretty much the son of the devil, if you want to look at it that way. I mean, The Omen is very creepy. Of course, you had Gregory Peck in this. He was great. You also had Ali Remick. A few other folks was in this too. You of course had Patrick Troughton as Father Brennan. I mean, Damien is definitely one of the most iconic creepy kids ever, and Harvey Spencer Stevens, I thought played Damien pretty well. That kid played creepy wellness, and I mean, The Omen is also a classic. It's a horror classic. Got released in the 70s, and it's still a horror movie that still holds up today. Definitely check out The Omen if you've never seen it. It's awesome. Coming in at number 3 are the Grady twins, played by Louise and Lisa Burns in The Shining. Those twins are completely creepy. I mean, just the scene where they say, "Hey, Dad," I can't remember the actress saying, but I think it was, "Hey, Daddy, come play with us." That is a creepy line. Like, that's an iconic line too. I mean, that line was showed in an episode of Family Guy. It was shown in Ready Player One when they spoofed The Shining in that. That's probably one of my favorite scenes of Ready Player One, by the way. But anyway, those twins are some of the creepiest twins ever, and the two actresses I thought play those roles perfectly. And The Shining is creepy as we speak. I mean, it's also based on a book by Stephen King. It's directed by the great Stanley Kubrick, starring Jack Nicholson, Shelley Duvall. Awesome film. And yeah, if you guys still never seen The Shining, check it out. And those the twins are definitely the creepiest kids. All right. Speaking of Stephen King, number 2 is Gage, played by Michael Hughes in Pet Sematary. I mean, Stephen King has a thing with creepy childs. Whether you talk about Children of the Corn, The Shining, even there was like some creepy kids in there. And of course, we got Pet Sematary. Gage is the most creepiest little child ever. I mean, in it, the kid, Gage, sadly, gets killed by a car, and of course, the family are really grieving from it. So the dad decides to, take the kid's body and put it in a pet cemetery, where he pretty much revive someone, and that's not something you want to do. Like, I mean, when someone dies, sadly, just keep them dead. Don't put them in pet cemetery. Don't try to revive them, because when you revive them, they're not going to be the same person that they were when they died. And Pet Sematary show that easily. I mean, when the kid comes out, comes alive, comes back, he pretty much kills people, and he is creepy. Like, especially the scene like when he's trying to kill his own dad. He says stuff like, "Now I want to play with you." Oh man, that is one of the most That and "I'm here and come play with us" are probably the most creepiest horror lines ever. And Gage's line in Pet Sematary is creepy. Now, of course, we got the remake of Pet Sematary coming out soon. By the way, I'm really curious to see how they're gonna do the whole Gage things in the remake of Pet Sematary. That's gonna be really creepy to watch, because the original was creepy enough. And yeah, I mean, Pet Sematary is of course awesome. And of course, it has a creepy kid, a creepy cat. This is the most scariest movie you ever want to see. And the book is like, I never really read the book, to be honest with you, but lots of people told me how creepy that book was as well. And yeah. All right. Now, my number 1 favorite movie kid favorite a creepy movie kid ever. Now, what's better than Damien? Better than Gage? That's no shocker. Coming in at number one will be Regan, played by Linda Blair in The Exorcist. How could you not have how could you not have Regan from The Exorcist? I mean, that is one of the most creepiest little girls ever. Come on, the head spinning, spitting out green vomit. I mean, how could you not have this one on your list? The face is very creepy, and like some of the stuff that Linda Blair was in was completely creepy as well. I mean, she's of course pretty much possessed by the demon, and oh man, The Exorcist is of course one of the most scariest movies ever. I mean, believe it or not, I was watching this horror special on AMC like back in October, and and Quentin Tarantino and lots of other people was telling a story how lots of people actually got sick from The Exorcist. Lots of people even collapsed from watching The Exorcist. I mean, this movie actually sent people to the hospital. I mean, lots of people collapsed. They, went in the hospital. I mean, there are actually people who went to see The Exorcist and went to like a psych ward and therapy. I mean, this movie was nuts when it got released. And I mean, The Exorcist, it's a classic horror film. It's, of course, besides Linda Blair, you also had Max von Sydow, Ellen Burstyn, good cast. Of course, it was directed by the great William Friedkin. I mean, of course, this was seriously creepy. The movie got released in 1973 or 74. It came around the 70s, and it's a horror movie that still holds up today. Of course, they also had like sequels that came after this, which part 2 was good, but the other sequels weren't that great. But if you guys never seen the original Exorcist, do yourself a favor, get buddies together or watch it by yourself or whatever you like to do, and check out The Exorcist. It's amazing. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Let me do them now. Number 10, Carol Ann for Poltergeist. 9, Samara from The Ring. 8, Esther from Orphan. 7, Rhonda Penmark from The Bad Seed. 6, Henry Evans for The Good Son. 5, Isaac Kroner for Children of the Corn. 4, Damien for The Omen. 3, the Grady twins for The Shining. 2, Gage for Pet Sematary, and 1, Regan from The Exorcist. I mean, the kid from Insidious was pretty creepy. Let me pull up the list here. The baby from Rosemary's Baby. Even though you don't see the baby, like it's still a pretty creepy kid. Drew Barrymore's character from Firestarter is very creepy. David Zalby from Village of the Damned is another one I could have added. Young Michael Myers from the Rob Zombie one. I'm actually gonna put because the young Michael Myers in the John Carpenter one, you didn't really know much about. Like they didn't really do much with the young Michael Myers one in the John Carpenter version, but with the Rob Zombie one, they actually really showed how creepy that kid, how young Michael Myers ended up being. So I'm gonna go with the kid from the Rob Zombie one instead of the John Carpenter one. But and not to mention young Jason Voorhees of Friday the 13th. How could you not have that one? But yeah, lots of creepy kids. Anyway, let me leave it to you guys. Who are some of your favorite creepy kids in movies? Drop a comment below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that bell for more notifications. This here is Thomas L. signing off.